Hi, okay, so I'm going to attempt to film me tearing down some paper pads so that they're more usable to me. I've had most of these paper pads for more years than I'd like to count, and I've watched several videos on YouTube, including Janet at RTS Scrapbooking, Mel over at Creatively Crafted Life, talking about tearing down paper pads and how to store them so that you'll actually use the sheets as opposed to just keeping the pad all pretty and lovely together as it is. So I've got 3 pads here. I think the majority of these probably came from TK Maxx in the UK. Like I say, they are several years old. So I've got a Me and My Big Ideas speciality pad with 48 sheets in it. They may not all be complete pads. I've got this My Mind's Eye Vintage Charm 48 sheet pad, and I have this DIY shop paper pad, which, oh, it's an American Crafts, and yeah, that looks like that came from TK Maxx as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these pads apart. I have, as I'm sure many people do, far too many scrapbooking supplies, far too much printed paper. So, right, let's get started. Apologies if my chair squeaks. So, we'll start with this one, the DIY shop. Let's shut the other one out of the way. And as we know, we're going to be tearing the pad apart. I can ditch that front cover. So this is cute, very nice, sort of vintagey, ledgery paper. I think that is probably something that I would use. And I do have, there's 2 sheets of each, I believe. And I do have a section amongst my papers for vintage papers. I'm not worried too much about the glue on the top because you can see that these have all got branding strips on them, so they're not actually true 12 by 12s until you remove that branding strip. So I will trim those off before I store them. So yes, I think we shall keep that and we shall put it in a vintage pile. Yeah, this sort of yellowy vintagey one. I like the fact that it looks like, I don't know if you can tell, it looks sort of canvassy. And it's a bit grungy, distressed, but not too like dirty grungy, if that makes sense. So yes, I think that stays. Ooh. Yeah, see, these branding strips have got the like the perforations, but then you'll end up with that like fuzzy edge. So I won't, I'll trim them later. Nice corkboard pattern. I've obviously used one of those for something. Actually, I think my sister may have used it to build a Barbie house. She might have used it for some sort of flooring pattern or something. She went through my stash a couple of years ago when her daughter was heavily into Barbie dolls and they were building a cardboard Barbie house. Map paper. I'll hold on to it. I don't really know what I'll do with it. I haven't travelled a huge amount, and the sections of the world that this is showing, I don't think I've been to any of them. No, I think sadly I haven't been to any of them. That's a bit depressing. Okay, so, oh, we love a text paper, we love a dictionary print. Just seeing if there's anything interesting words on there. Timpani. A solution of alcohol used in medicine, a tincture. Isn't that an awesome word? Sad. Right. And there's a whole bunch here about sort of time and things like that. So yeah, it could be quite useful for all sorts of things. So I think we'll have to have a text. I think I'm going to have a text, a map, and a sort of textures one, I think. So yes, that'll go in text papers. This I really love. It kind of looks like sort of denim or really dark blue linen. So that will just go into a blue section. More sort of ledgery paper with some pretty pink splotches on it. Again, I'm not really sure what I would use these for, but I'm sort of loath to get rid of, you know, I don't hate them. I do like them. I'm just a bit, I don't really know what I would use this particular sheet for. Most of the time, if I am using 12 by 12 pads, I'm quite often cutting them down to make sheet loads of cards. Alicia on YouTube does a sheet load of cards, or I'm using cutting them into smaller into 6x6 to do Kendra's card challenges, or I'm using Jess Creates templates to make cards. I don't do a huge amount of scrapbooking, partially because until recently I had a very limited amount of space and couldn't really figure out where everything was, and all my, you know, papers were mostly in pads, so, you know, I was all a bit stuck. I don't know where the papers are. This looks like really old, like, masking tape. Random. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. Oh, this would be lovely to make some scrapbook pages about my mum and my grandma. It's like a sewing pattern. And both my grandmother and my mum used to hand make clothing for us when we were younger. My gran was always my like go-to person whenever we were up visiting, to be like, oh, could you just take this in a bit for me, Granny, or, you know, this button's broken, etc. And my mum used to make us the most amazing bedspreads and stuff when we were younger. My sister had a beautiful Winnie the Pooh one that my mum had like cut the pattern of Winnie in a red balloon and it was gorgeous. So yes, this might be quite nice to make a scrapbook page about my mum, or maybe even to make into like a sewing or fabric craft themed like journal or something. So again, although I don't really know what I'm personally going to do with it, the idea behind this whole tearing down paper pads thing, just so that everybody knows, is that in theory, you're supposed to get rid of the papers that you hate. You know, that you will never in a million years see yourself using, and therefore free up some space in your craft room. Not convinced this is going to happen with this one. This, I mean, there's nothing really like amazing about it. It's got a bit of, you know, stamp detail and a bit of distressing around the edges, but there's nothing wrong with it as a background page, so I'd be loath to get rid of that. I can't remember who it was that I saw on YouTube, but one of the ladies that I was watching when she was going through paper pads like this, if she came across a paper that she absolutely loathed the front of, she pointed out that you can always keep it for the white. This is not the thickest weight paper, but if this white section was being backed onto a piece of coloured cardstock for a scrapbook layout, you know, it's perfectly usable. So again, not going to be getting rid of this. Oh, I love this one. Look at all these measuring tapes and months of the year as well. Again, what I would do with it, not quite sure, but I love it, which I think is why I bought this. Although vintagey stuff is not specifically my, or not necessarily my style, I kind of struggle with it. I always think that things look a little bit too cluttered. I love it. There's something about measuring tapes, pardon me, that just, yeah, makes me happy. Okay. Oh, now this I do know what I want to do with. So this, I'm hoping everybody can see, is basically a circular family tree. You know, for you to fill your name in and put your mum and your dad, etc. And I love the idea of filling this in as much as possible. Obviously, the sort of 5th generation, no, 1, 2, 3. The 6th generation stuff is cut off, so you would struggle to fill those in, or to go all the way around the pattern. But certainly I just like the idea of having something like this, particularly at the beginning of like an album full of photos of your family members. And luckily I've got 2 of those. So the nice thing would be that I could make one for myself. And I could also, I want to scrapbook my husband's family, so I could use the other one for my husband's family, which would be nice. Now this is ledger paper, and it's, you know, it's ledger paper and it's quite nice. I really don't care for this shade of green. So I think in the interests of allowing somebody else to love it, I will remove those and put them into my purge pile. I'm not the biggest fan of green at the best of times. And there probably, as I've heard other YouTubers say, there's probably people watching along going, no, don't get rid of that, it's beautiful. But it's everybody's personal choice. Although I'd said, you know, you could keep things for the back of the white, as this is just such nice pattern paper that somebody might actually really love and enjoy. I won't be selfish and keep it for the white. I'm exceptionally lucky, I have more than enough. So this I can re-gift. Okay. Another nice background, bits of book print, table of contents. I'm terrible with book prints. I always want to know like which books they're from. I'm a massive reader, and on occasions when I've been given projects to do with book pages that somebody else has gifted me, I'm like desperately trying to figure out which book they're from if something catches my eye. So again, I quite like this. And I actually think that this whole sort of collection I could use for scrapbooking, you know, older family photos, just because of the way, the vintage vibe to it. So yes, I think they will probably say music paper. I mean, normally I really love music paper. Obviously, this is just blank music, sheet music that you're, you know, all ready to write your notes and stuff in. I don't hate it. I think it's going to have to stay, just because it doesn't give me an instant kind of like, oh, like that green did. That green, I was like, oh, no, I don't like that. Now, everybody knows, as I'm sure most people are obsessed with wood grain, same as me, you know, wood grains. We love wood grains. I was going to say, I bet there's only one sheet of those. Sister had it for the doll's house. Yeah. So yeah, that one will stay. Graph paper. Not too keen on the orange stripes around the outside, but on the basis that I could either use the orange stripe as a mat for a smaller piece and just have that, and that all of this in the middle is lovely and usable, I think I will keep that one as well. And there's 2 of those. So yes, not doing very well with the whole getting rid of paper. We've got rid of like 2 sheets. Okay. Lovely gluey bits. Okay, another big map bit. This, I believe, is Manhattan, or certainly parts of New York. Yeah, United States Navy Yard and the North River and the East River, Ellis Island Ferry, etc. This I might keep for an aspirational reason, because I've wanted to go to New York for a very, very long time. And one day, you never know, I might make it. And actually, I like the way this is done. Better, I like it better than that other map paper. And I kept that one. So by, you know, process of logic, it's a map paper. This, again, I think is gorgeous. I don't really know what I would do with it. But it's constellations, you know. So, I mean, I suppose this would be nice to use on a scrapbook page, if you were doing one about yourself or a loved one, you know what star sign they are. You could, you know, make a feature of that. My husband is an Aquarius, and the Aquarius one is here. You know, so you could make a feature of whichever constellation you liked. So yeah, that has to stay, I'm afraid. Yeah, I'm really not doing very well with getting rid of this. Oh no, spoke too soon. Right. This is like that airmail stripe. In the UK, you know, you get this on like the you know, Part Avion, the airmail stickers. I could see if, you know, I was particularly patriotic, you know, that it's red, white and blue, so that would work for both the US and obviously England, because we have those colours in our flags. I don't like it. I don't like it enough to keep it. I don't have Jubilee pictures or anything like that to scrapbook, so I'm happy letting that go. This one, another lovely background, so quite happy. Again, even if I don't know exactly what I'll do with it, I don't. One of the ladies I watch, and I forgive me because I can't remember her name, she makes me giggle when I hear her comment. She's like, I don't love it, or I don't like it, but I don't not like it. So yeah, that's how I feel about quite a few of these. This one, again, another ledgery kind of paper, but I do like the blue in it. And I'm thinking, although it's got numbers up to like 33, so like you could use part of this for like a daily. I know some people do like December dailies, but if you were going to you know, do a scrapbook about a particular month, you know, you've got elements here that you could add little bits for each, you know, each day of the week kind of thing for whichever month you're in, and, you know, put something across the bottom. Yeah, I don't like it, but I don't not like it, so I think it's going to stay. Yeah, this is not going well. Oh no, and look, now we've got another beautiful, beautiful wood grain. I actually like this one better than the other one, but there was only one sheet of that. Oh, my sister either missed this one, or this wood grain was not acceptable for the purposes of building Barbie dream houses. But yes, I really like that. For no reason other than just my husband and I like to do puzzles together. Again, I don't really know exactly what I would use this for, but this crossword print has to stay just because it's cute, it's unusual. I've never really seen anything like it in amongst the other papers that I have. So yeah, that one is going to have to stay as well, I'm afraid. So, out of our 48 sheet pad, we kept most of them. Not really surprising. So actually, now that we've done with those, I shall move them out of the way. And then, yes, just a little, yeah, basically I decided to purge these 4 bits. So yeah, so far, tearing down paper pad number 1, not a roaring success in terms of purging. In terms of reminding me, sorry, I hit the camera then. In terms of reminding me what I've actually got and, you know, inspiring me to use some of it, maybe not an unqualified success, but successful all the same. I may or may not get through all through 3 of these because I've gibbered on for ages and taken quite a long time to do those. So then this is the My Mind's Eye Vintage Charm. Oh, I love that. That is absolutely gorgeous. Can I just tear this? I can. Let's get rid of the front cover. That I absolutely love. Makes me think of sort of like autumn. Beautiful. That would probably go into an orange section. Now this one's got that sort of spot gloss in the stripes, but, and although I'm not a huge fan of that finish, I do love it. I'm gonna have to do them one at a time because these are fairly heavyweight. I'm failing to be able to tear apart paper pad. although I said earlier, not the biggest fan of green, put those over there, not the biggest fan of green, this I actually really like. And, oh, this has got some spot gloss on, like the flowers. It's got these cute little butterflies. And I mean, this I could see cutting down and using sections for cards. Or maybe if I was feeling particularly brave, fussy, cutting some elements out of it. I think we'll have that one. Lots and lots of aeroplanes. I do have a friend who's like a World War enthusiast, loves his you know, planes, trains and automobiles, etc. And it's the sort of thing that I might use possibly to make a card for him. Do I want to keep both sheets? We'll put both of them in the keep pile. This I like, not as a whole thing. I don't like this glossy border across the top, not with this paper, if you see what I mean. I could maybe fussy cut that and use it on something else. I don't kind of like the way it goes with this, but this, I love the sort of canvasy print. Again, I don't love that, but it could always be covered up. Oh dear. I think this might be another pack that doesn't lose me a lot. This I love. I love this turquoise and the fact that it's slightly sort of grungy, dirty. Doesn't bother me, but I do love this sort of teal, aqua, blue, green, whatever you want to call it. Big fan of that colour. Yeah, these ones I am going to have to, but I won't make you watch. Come back and pull all the glue off the edges. This I like. I don't particularly like this cluster, although there are sections of it that I might consider fussy cutting and or covering up on using the cluster in its entirety. Like I like this penny farthing bicycle. I like the old car. I like the word timeless. I just don't necessarily like it on this paper. But the paper with its sort of peachy, orangey tones, I don't hate. Okay, I'm getting a cat. This I really like. A, because I really like these elements that could be punched, although they've got that UV gloss. Sorry if you can hear my dog barking in the background. I think if it was just, you know, one or two of them on one page as opposed to the whole row of the UV, and I really like the rest of it. So yes, that has to stay. This is a little bit more grungy than I would like, but I still think the colour's nice enough. The colour's just so pretty. And yeah, I don't appear to have two sheets of every one of these, so I must have lost a couple of them. Weirdly, although I like polka dots and I normally like multicoloured polka dots, this piece of paper just doesn't really, yeah, it doesn't really speak to me. I think we'll get rid of that. The next one, sort of cream and black polka dots. Again, I don't really, I don't love this spot gloss bit around the outside, but on the basis that I could trim that off and use this section as a nice large mat. So like if I trimmed that, what is that, about 1/4 of an inch, so about 1/2 an inch, this pattern mounted on cream or mounted on black I think would look quite nice. So although I don't love the UV gloss around the edge, I love enough of what's in the middle that I could use that. No, it doesn't really do anything for me, that stripes, I'm afraid. It kind of reminds me of wallpaper. Yeah, I don't know that I love this either. Or, I mean, I know I don't love it, but I don't know if I don't like it and not like it. I think I just don't like it, to be honest. Yeah, I think that one's going to have to pop up there and be a purgy one. This, I really like some of the elements that you could fussy cut out of it. You know, the little keys, the pocket watch. I quite like the banners. This again has got like UV spot gloss on it. I actually quite like this sort of peachy tone. So, I mean, I'm thinking that, you know, I could, you know, you could probably get an 8x10 for pocket page scrapbooking. You could certainly have a couple of 6x6s just for like mats and layers, and you could maybe fussy cut some of those elements. So yes, I think that one has to stay. I kind of like this colour. I don't hate the pattern. I don't know that I need two. So I think we will keep one and we will send one to a new home. One to a new home. Right. This, I really love the colours, and I actually really like the pattern. So I think that has to be a definite stay. This one I like. I do quite like the little UV spot glossed birdhouse. You know, you could make quite a nice sort of 6x8 page with that. Yeah, okay. That has to stay as well. This I like better than the other striped one. This kind of gives me sort of autumny kind of vibes. So yeah, I don't love it, but I don't not love it. This I really like the colour combination of, so that one has to stay. There's two of those. Awesome. I like it. I don't love it, but I do like it. I like it enough that it can stay. It can stay for now. This really beautiful sort of like warm curry yellow, mustardy, curry, that's not even a word, mustardy curry sort of coloured yellow with this really pretty sort of orange print in the background. Yeah, we like that. We like that enough to stay. Wow. I mean, I love it. I'm a bit torn as to what I would do with it. But I love the trees and I love the leaves. It made lovely, you know, if you had small children and you did the whole, you know, kicking through the leaves for autumn thing, make lovely photos, you know, a couple of those. Nice walk in the woods. So yeah, really am going to have to do something about that. So yeah, I like that enough that it definitely gets to stay. This, I really like the colours of. I'm not 100% on the pattern, but I think in small enough bits, I would keep that. It would work for me. This one, again, not overly fussed about the sort of tag pieces, but I love this sort of burnt rusty colour. So yeah, that one has to stay as well, I'm afraid. Oh, we are really not doing very well. But we have reached the end of the pad. So I think, as this video is nearly half an hour long, I am going to stop there. And I will note for future that I need to maybe just do 2 pads at a time. Because I'm not quick enough about making decisions. So from that one, or from both of those, which were the My Mind's Eye Vintage Charm and the American Crafts DIY shop, we did not do the greatest job of getting rid of papers, but actually got rid of more of the Vintage Charm ones. So I have these that I'm going to put in my donation pile. I have lots and lots of people who love their pretty papers, so I'm sure these will find good homes. Okay, right, so that's that. I shall do another one of these, and hopefully you've enjoyed watching this, even if it is just me blethering on about paper. Currently I'm in the process of moving into my new craft room, so things are a bit chaotic and I can't really create much, so I'm trying to make myself happy by stroking some paper. Okay, thanks for watching, and if you'd like to like and subscribe so you can see more of this general inanity, that would be great. Thanks.